Cardinal fans, we have a special guest here today. It's Ball State Football Hall of Famer Nate Davis back in town. IFL's in town as the San Diego Strike Force take on the Fishers Freight. Nate, really appreciate your time and welcome back to campus.
Hey, man, thank you. Really appreciate it, man. It's so good to be back, back to Muncie again.
You've been able to see this indoor facility once before, but today you've actually been able to see it a little bit more. What are you thinking?
Oh, my goodness. It's so amazing. It's so amazing to see the upgrades for the whole campus in this facility. Like I was saying earlier, man, we had nothing but grass. We wasn't allowed practicing on turf or indoors. So it's just so amazing. It's so hot outside. Oh, you just go inside and practice.
When you come back and you see all these new developments on campus, what does that speak to the development of what this university is in your mind?
It's amazing, for the college to keep on growing, and that's the support. And that's what it all comes down to is, they have the best support out here in Muncie and, and keep on the winning tradition. And that's what happens.
You play indoors now in the IFL. We're looking at this indoor facility. How cool would it have been able to practice in one of these?
Oh, it'd have been amazing. It would have definitely been amazing to practice in here when, it's 107 outside and then the turf is like 120. So, yes, it'd have been nice to come in here and practice, on those days. Or even when it's cold outside in the snow, we had to go outside and practice no matter what, snow, rain, nothing. So we didn't have all this. So it's a blessing for these guys, this new generation.
Now you're used to the warm weather, though, in San Diego.
Oh, of course. Beautiful weather, 70s every day, cool little breeze, never too hot. So, yeah, it's a beautiful thing out there in San Diego.
You were able to speak with the current Ball State football team your first day back here on campus. What was that like for you?
It was great, man. He's a great coach. I can tell that he's a player's coach. He's all about the players, and that's what I love about that. And that's what Coach Hoke was, and that's why he had a winning program. And I feel like Ball State, they about to come back on the map.
How cool is it to interact with the athletes?
Oh, it's great because, just looking back, I was one of them. That was the best part. And I told them, championship teams, it starts right now. This is when you start winning. When you start winning in this off-season program, the summer workouts, this is when you win, when you become a family. And then in the season, it's an easy breeze.
You guys are practicing here at the indoor facility before your game against Fishers. How cool is that to be able to practice on the campus that you played at now as a professional?
Oh, it's amazing. It brings them memories. And definitely, for my teammates, get to see, because some of them didn't play D1. Some of them get to see, what D1 facilities look like. And I tell them, so I didn't have these facilities, but it's a good thing to be here. To give back, and just to be back and for everything.
When you walk onto the field, I know it looks a little different with the turf. You mentioned the turf that you guys got to play on, but you couldn't practice on. What memories spark when you walk on the turf? Do you start to see things and see where plays happen?
Of course. The one thing that I tell everybody, the greatest moment of my life for football-wise, it wasn't about me being drafted or nothing like that. We went 12-0 when everybody rushed the field. That was the best feeling that I ever been a part of for football-wise. I always say, being drafted, yeah, it's a great accomplishment, but when you went 12-0 and they all rushed, that was the best feeling of my whole life.
Man, that's awesome. I got chills. She's talking about it right now.
It was. I'll tell you, I have the same thing. I got chills myself, man. But yeah, that's the feeling that when I first walked on it, that's the feeling I got. Just remembering that, when that clock hit 0, everybody ran on the field. And the cops are taking all the players, trying to get them off and everything. It was just a great feeling.
How often do you talk with your teammates about those moments?
I talk to them sometimes. Some guys will ask because, in this indoor football, I'm an old vet. So, yeah, they ask a lot of questions about college because we have a bunch of guys that are coming straight from college. So they ask, hey, how is things? How was things when you was in college and what's the difference now? And, we just, that's how you get the bond with your team. Is when you're talking, just little things like that.
How about your former teammates at Ball State? Do you guys have any text chains or things like that talking about the past?
Oh, of course, yes. Matter of fact, we was just talking, one of our guys, Robert Brewster, he was my right tackle. His son is, his name Jalen Brewster. He's probably the number 2 defensive tackle in the country right now.
Right.
He's the real deal. He's the real deal. So, he's just talking about the whole recruiting process. How he's doing, of how it's so much bigger now. And then what we went was just, hey, man, would you like to come to school here? You get a free education. That's it. Now these days, say, hey, man, I want you to come here and I can give you some money. It's a little different. So yeah. So, there's a bunch of guys that we all still keep in touch.
When you're rushing the field, you're 12-0, you have that type of season, you get drafted. Did you think that your life would turn out the way that it has?
No, actually I didn't. I really didn't. I thought, I would play in the NFL a little bit and just be a coach. And that's why I thought that was going to be my life. And I'm still 38 and still playing. But I am a coach also. So I'm dipping in both worlds.
All right, what's it like to play in the IFL, 38 years old?
It's a little rough sometimes, The body don't heal up as it used to back in the day. But it's great, for me to still be able to play the game that I love. It's a great accomplishment.
What continues to draw you to keep coming back and play year after year?
It's just the love of the game. I love football. I learn stuff new every day. New guys come, they tell me something different. Okay, I like that. I'm a big visual learner, so guys be showing me different things, and I just keep on picking up on stuff. And I'm still learning from these young quarterbacks. They're doing stuff. I say, okay, well, let me try this. Sometimes it don't look the same, but I try some of that stuff.
We were talking about it before we started this. You're a pocket passer. You're sitting back in the pocket. You're throwing the ball. How much fun is it to sit back there and still read everything the way that you always have?
It's good because most of the time you don't get hit doing that. When you get the ball, you sit there, read the coverage. You know what coverage is. You get the balls out. Then you don't get hit. But like this new era is where they like to sit back here and take off running. So I'm like the last of the era of the sit back pocket passers.
And your body probably likes that.
Oh yes, 100%. It's feeling pretty good right now.
I was about to say you only have 2 more games left this year. Body's still feeling pretty good. Overall, for you guys this season, how you feeling about the year?
I feel pretty good. We started off a little shaky, but of course, it takes time for the offense to keep on, to grow. And they made some changes. We got some pieces in, and we're rocking and rolling right now. The last about 5-7 games, we've been putting up some points. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
You mentioned a couple of moments ago about the ability to just stick with the game, and you wanted to coach as well. You said you're doing a little bit of both. How does that balance? You're coaching, you're playing. What does that balance look like?
So it is very hard. So actually today was my first day. I coach a youth team. Today was the first day of practice. So, but I get to be here. But yeah, so our first game will be August 27th. So I get the championships on August 23rd. So I have 4 days before our first game. But yeah, so it is kind of hard. We have a little band app. That's what our stuff's called, band app. And I put our plays in there and I communicate with all our guys. I have other coaches out there already still. So that's how it is. It's a tough goal. It's very difficult to, balance both of them. But with my head coach that I have now, he's a high school coach, so he helps me out a lot. And then a lot of the coaches on the Strike Force staff are also high school coaches. So I get a lot of knowledge from those guys, and like I'm trying to teach the youth to already the high school ways, because they're about to go to high school next year.
Excited to see what this coaching career leads to you, because if you're throwing 79, 80 touchdowns a year in the IFL, can't wait to see what you're teaching kids. Nate, you're a Ball State Hall of Famer. When you look back 4 years ago to be inducted into the Ball State Hall of Fame, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. When they called, Joe Hernandez called me and was like, hey man, I got something exciting to tell you. I'm thinking like, okay. And he was like, yeah, we're inducting you into the Hall of Fame. I said, I only went there for 3 years. I said, my stats were that good? They were like, listen, they got you down as the best quarterback ever here. I said, there's some good quarterbacks here, man. So it's an honor to be inducted to a Hall of Fame and to be named like that.
What do you want people to know when they think about Nate Davis as a Ball State football player?
That I was a hard worker, and I was a leader. Those are 2 things. And then I was a dog on that field. I was going to give it everything I got.
Nate, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us, and best of luck in the future, and can't wait to see you playing at 40.
Hey, thank you so much. So that's the goal, and that's the goal, is to get there. So, but, me and my coach, we're going to have a conversation after the season, and we'll see where we go from there.